Itch.io. You either love it or you hate it. And, I can't really decide between the two. Now, Itch.io as a concept is absolutely amazing. A place where you can host and make indie games without really being charged any big fee like Steam. Because, like, Steam has like a $100 fee, plus they take 30%. It's a great idea. Itch.io is a great idea. It makes sense. But it has its problems. One problem with Itch.io is there's kinds of like only basically two main genres of games in Itch.io, and like it's so filled with them that like if you don't like those two genres of games, then this website isn't really for you. It's either like visual novels. It's either like graphic novels, visual novels, or it's crappy PlayStation 1 graphic horror games. And that's all they have. And like I don't have anything against these kinds of games. I don't have anything against if you like to watch your LGBTQ yaoi visual novel. I don't really care. But I get kind of sick of those being the only two options I have on itch.io. Sometimes there are some cool games that are different, but like it's mostly just like saturated by the same two games, and like all I'm kind of saying a thing is like, what if I don't want to play this game? And the only answer I get is that I don't really get anything, do I? Like I don't have, as I say, I don't have anything against itch.io. It's a great place to put on your indie games and to make fun and to make video games. It's just that it's like sometimes it isn't the best in certain areas. I will say itch.io is great if you're bored and you just want to find a quick indie game that's free. It does that job really well. It's pretty easy just to find a game you can spend 20 minutes playing. The only problem is like it's basically just filled with these really small projects and stuff, and like I'm sorry, I'm kind of sick of playing your average PlayStation 1 graphics horror game. Can we please like get something original? Like I really get sick of this stuff. I think one of the other here's the thing. In a way, itch.io kind of benefits this. Cause like, just think for a moment. What is one of the easiest games to make that can get really popular? Surprisingly, it is these PlayStation 1 type horror games. They get really popular because streamers watch them, because streamers need content. Am I saying it's bad for streamers to play games? No. I watch Joe Barcelona, and I watch Queso, and I love watching their streams. But the whole point of these games is basically just so people can. Is basically just for streamers, and I like to call it streamer bait. It's basically just for streamers to play it and them to get popular because your favorite streamer played it. And like, I don't have anything against that. Like, I love watching streamers. I don't have anything against that. But it's just kind of like, because all they're doing is trying to go to streamers, the actual games and gameplay experience, they're absolutely horrible. And like the actual games are like absolutely horrible. Like they're either like they're very shittily made and they're pumped out really easily, or they just don't put much effort into them. And like I just get sick of that because it's like what I'm saying is like you can see the intention. Like the whole intention is just to get a popular streamer to maybe play your game and then get really popular and get a lot of donations and stuff. And like I don't have anything against that. I appreciate, and like some developers do actually try to make games, and then like some are just like it's just for streamers, and like they'll always like and like sometimes they'll make their games purposely clickbaitable. Like I remember a long time ago I made a video about this game called 6-7 Minutes in Heaven. Like that is the most clickbaitable title I've ever heard in my life, and there's probably a reason for that, because it probably was clickbait. And let me just say this. It is hard to do this kind of creative stuff, and I can understand using certain methods to get more viewers and to get more people to play your games. But it's kind of like, what are you doing to your reputation in the process? Yeah, you made an indie game, and Queso played it on a stream, but like, is that gonna be your golden achievement that like Queso played your game? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like Queso's a great person, but it's just like, what are you gonna do now? You gonna make more crappy horror games? And like, the thing is like, and these games always follow a certain pattern, and like, you can see these games from like a mile away. One is always this PS1 graphic style that is not actually what a PS1 would use. And like, I don't know if I'm just being nitpicky, but like a lot of these games don't actually use real like PlayStation 1, like the kind of graphics a PlayStation 1 would use, because a PlayStation 1 could never have graphics like that. It was a way lot simpler. And another thing is that there was like no PlayStation horror games there were no PlayStation horror games that were first person. That was not a thing. I can understand it being an art style, but that's just the truth. There was never there was never first person PlayStation horror games, or at least I don't think so, from what I've seen. And so basically they're just making this stuff with this style because there's a lot of good horror games used to have bad graphics, and people just kind of think that, oh, bad graphics in horror games means they're good. No, good horror games means they're good. It's kind of like they miss the point that a reason a lot of these games with bad graphics are good is because they put more time into gameplay, and they put more effort into gameplay. They're not putting the effort into gameplay. These horror games are the most cookie cutter things you've ever played in your life, and they're the exact same thing all the time. And like, I don't have anything against people doing it. Like, if you like doing it, that's fine. But like, they are pretty much just like, the whole point of the games is they'll just be like, there's always a thing telling you what task you have to do. Like, there's always this big text thing saying, do this task, do this. And it's just like, they treat you like you're a 5-year-old who doesn't have critical thinking and can't think, oh, what should I do in this situation? No, they straight up just put a big text box saying, go here, do this. And it's like, it feels like they're treating me like some kind of child. And then these games will always have, like, their gameplay will literally just be either a fetch quest or just walking around a very boring area, and then spooky man comes and you have to run away or call police, or there's some or there's like endings or something. And it's like, and like these guys always gravitate to just straight up just jump scare horror. They don't try to add tension. They don't try to be new or unique. They're just like, oh, we have scary guy and he do scary thing and he do scary thing. Ooh, very, very spooky. And it's like, this isn't groundbreaking. This is just like copying. Like, everyone has done this. And like, I remember something to take from is that I remember watching a Joe Bart stream, and something I always see from like these streamers like Joe Bart and like Queso is they'll say like, like Joe Bart would say, like, I've seen these houses, I've seen this house in like 20 other games, and that brings me to another thing, is that most of the time, they'll straight up just are like asset flips. Most of the time, they are just asset flips, like Gordon and Batman. They're basically just like asset flips. So what they'll do, well, like what they'll do with these asset flip games is that they'll take the game, they'll just find a lot of assets online that are just like easy to find, and they'll always use Unreal, because Unreal is like meant to be really easy, and it even comes with its own movement code. So that's why all of these games always have the same kind of janky movement, because they're probably just using the built-in Unreal movement code. And then what they'll do with these games is that they'll just find all these props, and maybe if we're lucky, model their own props, or maybe model their own monster, and the monster always looks absolutely horrible because of it. And then they'll just take that and then just like slap that in, and then they'll just like make a game. They'll add like a little bit of code telling you to do tasks, and like these games, and I think like, since these are asset flips, that's why these games normally have like absolutely no gameplay at all, because basically what they are is they're just glorified asset flips, and then like they'll just take all these assets and like just shove them into a game and say, oh, this is my new horror game, so spooky, come on, go play it. And it's like, it's just boring. They're always just boring, and like their gameplay isn't fun, they aren't scary, the graphics aren't actually special or cool. They're just stealing the PlayStation 1 art style without actually understanding the PlayStation 1 art style. So basically, it's just like, it's bad all around. It's like, there's nothing really good about these games. They're just really popular because they're free, and streamers love playing them because they're just good at taking up time. And like, that's all I see out of these like kinds of games. I know I'm ranting a lot, but yeah, that's my opinion on itch, and also low poly horror games. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, and if you have any game recommendations, just put it in the comments, I guess. Oh, and also like and subscribe, I guess.